You stand now on a sacred threshold, a threshold not marked by stone or wood, but by the shifting currents of your very consciousness. Here, at this liminal place between thought and stillness, between the endless clamoring of the mind and the profound quiet that lies beneath it, a remarkable transformation awaits you. You have traveled long through the labyrinth of your mind's ceaseless activity, an intricate maze of questions, worries, doubts, desires, and fleeting images, all swirling like restless shadows cast by a flickering flame. Yet now, there comes a moment when the flame dims, when the shadows cease their frantic dance, when the noise recedes like a tide withdrawing from the shore. This moment is the great paradox of human experience. When the mind goes silent, the soul begins to speak. But what does it mean for the mind to be silent? Is it a mere absence of thought, a void emptied of mental noise? No, it is far more profound than a simple stillness or emptiness. This silence is a vast presence, an enveloping ocean of quietude so deep and expansive that it seems to contain the very essence of all existence. It is not a hollow silence, but a living silence, a silence charged with the electric hum of creation itself. Have you ever truly encountered this silence? Perhaps only fleetingly, in the fleeting moments when sleep slips away and dreams dissolve, or when you lose yourself in the infinite blue of the sky or the shimmering depths of a still lake. In these sacred spaces, the usual boundaries between you and the world dissolve, and you touch the mysterious, boundless stillness that lies beyond all thought. This silence is the language of the soul, an ancient tongue that predates words, predates reason, that speaks in rhythms and vibrations deeper than any spoken phrase. It is the voice of your innermost being, a voice that does not shout or command, but whispers gently and persistently, calling you back to the home you have forgotten. What is this voice, and how can you learn to hear it amidst the roaring crowds of your mind's ceaseless chatter? This is the riddle, the sacred enigma that lies at the heart of all spiritual seeking. The mind is like a river, ever flowing, ever restless, its surface rippling with thoughts like leaves caught in a rushing stream. The river rushes onward, seeking meaning, grasping for understanding, always trying to navigate towards some distant sea. But the soul is the ocean itself, vast, still beneath the surface, ancient and eternal. When the river finally pauses, when it lets go of its frantic quest and flows freely into the ocean, it becomes part of something infinitely greater than itself. It is in that merging, in that surrender, that the soul's voice arises, not as noise, but as a profound stillness that holds all sound within it. Are you ready to make this journey? To step beyond the endless noise and distraction, beyond the restless cycles of thought, beyond the fearful illusions that bind your spirit. Come now, and let us walk together through the doorway of silence, a doorway that opens not outward, but inward into the luminous depths of your own soul. Here, in the sacred hush, your soul begins to speak, and its words will change everything. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself standing in an ancient forest, a place untouched by time, where silence holds dominion and the very air seems steeped in the breath of eternity. Here, the world exhales a sacred stillness so profound, it feels as if the universe itself has paused, leaning close to whisper secrets long forgotten by mortal ears. You find yourself enveloped by towering trees whose leaves shimmer faintly in the fading light, their branches gently swaying with a subtle breeze that carries the weight of untold stories. The scent of damp earth and moss fills the air, grounding you to this eternal moment, this sacred sanctuary inside and beyond all space and time. Around you, the forest breathes with a slow, steady rhythm, a quiet harmony beneath the restless noise of your usual thoughts. Your mind, which so often clamors and rushes like a wild storm, now softens, becoming like the gentle wind that merely stirs the leaves, a delicate touch rather than a roar. This ancient grove is a mirror, a symbol of the hidden sanctuary within your own being. Beneath the restless tides of your mind, lies a silent depth, a sacred space where your soul dwells in patient stillness. What is the soul, if not the silent witness to the eternal dance of all existence? What is the mind, if not the tireless storyteller weaving endless tales between moments? The soul is the ground beneath the waves of thought, the stillness behind the noise, the calm center that holds the storm. To enter this sacred place, you must first become still, not merely in body, but in your deepest self. Stillness is not the absence of life, but the presence of all that is most real and true. Can you feel its gentle pull? The silent call inviting you to lay down your burdens, your questions, your restless searching. To enter this space, you must surrender your relentless need to understand, to control, to grasp answers. Instead, you are invited to open your heart wide, to embrace the sacred mystery of not knowing. Mystery is not a riddle to be solved. It is a door to be opened, a dance to be entered, a song to be heard in the spaces between the notes. This is the paradox of the soul's voice. It is discovered not by grasping or demanding, but by releasing and receiving, not by thinking, but by feeling, not by certainty, but by trust. The journey into silence is a journey into the unknown depths of your own being, where the boundaries dissolve between self and other, time and eternity, thought and pure presence. Here, in the soul's silence, lies the source of all wisdom. Not knowledge gleaned from books or teachers, but the living, breathing truth that springs forth from your own essence. This is your true home, a place your soul remembers even when your mind forgets. Will you answer the call? Will you step gently into the silence where the soul begins to speak? The path before you lies open, cloaked in shadow and light, in mystery and revelation. What does it truly mean for the mind to fall silent? To slip beneath the surface of ceaseless thought and emerge into a silence so profound it seems alive, as though breathing with a secret life of its own. Can silence itself be a presence, a vast luminous field where the soul's ancient voice finally dares to rise and be heard? Imagine, if you will, that beneath the constant roar of your thoughts, beneath the swirling tempest of memories, fears, hopes, and endless mental chatter, there lies a stillness so deep and expansive it contains all of time and space, all of existence itself. What if this stillness is not an empty void, but a fullness so rich, so pregnant with possibility, that it cradles the seed of awakening, waiting only for your surrender to bloom? What if the soul has been speaking to you all along, whispering softly beneath the clamorous noise of your mind, patiently, persistently, waiting for the moment when you would finally still your restless thoughts enough to hear? Close your eyes now. Breathe deeply and slowly, allowing your breath to become a gentle tide, rising and falling in quiet rhythm with the earth itself. Let your thoughts soften, slow, like petals unfolding under the first light of dawn. Can you feel it? That subtle vibration beneath the surface. A faint murmur, a quiet pulse, a voice speaking not in words but in feelings, in images, in dreams half remembered. This is the language of the soul, elusive, poetic, symbolic. It is a language the mind cannot grasp, a code written in the stars and echoed in the beating of your heart. The mind fears this silence, for it knows that beyond its walls of stories, logic, and certainty lies the unknown, infinite, boundless, terrifying, and wondrous, all at once. Yet true freedom, true awakening, can only come when you loosen your grip on control, when you embrace the mystery with open arms and an open heart. What would it mean to surrender your desperate need to understand, to step into the silence with trust, without needing answers, to become the quiet space in which all things arise and dissolve? In this surrender lies a power greater than the mind can comprehend, a power that moves silently beneath the surface, transforming all that it touches with light and love. Will you trust this silence? Will you open yourself to the soul's soft whisper beneath the mind's relentless roar? The path is shadowed and uncertain, Yet it leads to a truth so profound it alters the very fabric of your being. The soul's voice calls you beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond the maze of mental noise and distraction. Will you answer this call? Will you dare to listen in the silence? Imagine your mind as a restless river, a constant current flowing through your experience, carrying with it the debris of countless thoughts, memories, judgments, fears, and desires. It rushes forward, sometimes glittering under the sun's light, sometimes churning dark and turbulent in the shadowed bends. The river is alive, but it is never still. It cannot stop, for it believes its purpose is to keep moving, keep searching, keep striving towards some elusive horizon. Now imagine the soul as the ocean, vast, timeless, and serene beyond measure. The ocean holds the river within its infinite embrace, but remains unmoved by the river's relentless currents and waves. Beneath the surface, the ocean is still, deep, and calm, carrying secrets older than the stars themselves. When the river resists, struggling to hold on to its own sense of self and control, it crashes against rocks and splashes into turmoil. But when the river surrenders, flowing freely into the ocean's expanse, it becomes one with something infinitely greater than itself. So too with your mind and soul. When your mind releases its frantic grip on ceaseless thought, when it finally rests and becomes still, it merges with the vast ocean of your soul. This merging is not a loss, but a homecoming, a return to wholeness and unity. In that sacred union, the soul begins to speak. Its voice is not a clamorous noise, but a profound stillness that enfolds all sound within its depths. It is the music of the cosmos, the rhythm of the stars, the silent heartbeat of existence itself. The soul's language is the language of symbols, cycles, and archetypes, the waxing and waning moon, the eternal dance of the seasons, the blossoming and withering of flowers, the rise and fall of tides. It is a language that transcends time and space, speaking directly to the deepest parts of your being. To hear this language, you must trust in silence. You must loosen the mind's desperate hold on analysis and control, and instead open yourself to the mystery that lives in the spaces between thoughts. In that sacred silence, you discover that the soul is not separate from you. It is the very essence of your being, infinite, radiant, eternal. When the mind goes silent, the soul begins to speak, and in that sacred speaking, you remember who you truly are. Not merely a body or a mind filled with fleeting thoughts, but a luminous drop in the boundless ocean of existence, a spark of the infinite flame that lights all creation. This truth is simple and profound. Silence is not emptiness, but fullness. It is not absence, but presence. It is the fertile ground from which all life and wisdom arise. When you learn to rest in this silence, the soul's voice becomes your guide, a compass pointing you home through the tangled forests of illusion and distraction. It whispers truths that no words can contain, shows you visions that no mind can conceive, and awakens a love that no heart can hold but all souls recognize. This is the sacred mystery, the great awakening that lies at the heart of every spiritual journey. Will you let the silence speak? Will you allow the soul's language to fill your being, transforming all you thought you knew? The choice is yours, and the invitation is eternal. You have felt it before, haven't you? That delicate moment when the noise of the world fades away and a gentle calmness washes over your entire being. Maybe it was at dawn, when the first light of morning softly touches the earth and everything feels new, fresh, and tender. Or perhaps in the quiet solitude of the night, when the vast sky hangs like a tapestry of stars, each one a distant fire lighting the darkness. In these rare, sacred moments, you brush against the edges of something vast and mysterious, a presence so profound and infinite that words cannot hold it, and yet it fills you completely. You may have called this feeling peace, intuition, or clarity, but it is far more than any simple label. It is the voice of your soul reaching out to you through the veils of time and space, whispering its eternal song. This voice has always been inside you, beneath the ceaseless whirl of your thoughts, hidden behind the walls you build to protect yourself from fear, doubt, and uncertainty. It calls you home, home to yourself, to your truest essence. In those rare, quiet instants, you glimpse the sanctuary within, the sacred place where your true self dances free, untouched by the masks and roles you wear in the waking world. You are not merely a mind filled with fleeting thoughts and endless chatter. You are a vast presence, a luminous light holding within you the memory of the stars, the breath of galaxies, and the heartbeat of eternity itself. The silence you seek is not somewhere out there in some distant temple or sacred mountain. It is the very essence of your being, patiently waiting for you to remember it. Even if you have forgotten, even if you feel lost in the noise and distraction, your soul's voice has never left you. It whispers in the rustling leaves, in the flowing rivers, in the quiet pauses between words, in the spaces where time seems to stop. When you truly listen, with an open heart and a still mind, you awaken to a truth so profound that it alters everything you have believed about yourself and the world. You discover that you are not alone. You are connected to all that ever was, all that is, and all that will ever be. You are part of an eternal dance, the sacred dance of life, death, and rebirth, forever unfolding, forever becoming. This is your story, your sacred journey home. And in this journey, you find an intimate connection with the universal, the invisible thread that weaves through every being, every star, every breath of wind. You realize that the silence you cultivate within yourself is the very silence that cradles the cosmos. You recognize that the soul's voice you hear is the same voice that sings in the galaxies, that hums in the seeds of trees, that pulses in the heartbeat of every living thing. This unity, this sacred oneness, is not a concept but a living reality, a mystery to be lived, not solved. It is the deepest truth that all mystics, sages, and poets have tried to express, yet words always fall short. It is the truth you know in your bones, in your breath, in the silent spaces between your thoughts. This connection is your greatest gift and your most profound responsibility, to carry the awareness of your unity with all life into every moment, every choice, every step. As you walk this path, remember, the silence within you is a sanctuary, a source of endless strength and love. The soul's voice is your eternal guide, ever present and unwavering, leading you home to yourself and to the infinite. Now, gently let your mind rest. Allow the ceaseless flood of questions, worries, and mental chatter to dissolve softly, like mist dissipating in the warm light of dawn. There is no need to fight, no need to grasp or control. Simply surrender to the gentle unfolding of this sacred moment. Trust the silence growing quietly within you, steady, deep, sure, like the roots of an ancient tree reaching deep into the earth. This silence is your birthright, your true nature waiting patiently for your recognition. You do not need to force understanding or push for clarity. Instead, simply be present. Breathe deeply. Feel the life flowing through your body. Open your heart slowly, tenderly, as if unfolding a fragile flower beneath the sun's first light. In this presence, the soul's voice will arise, soft yet powerful, subtle yet unstoppable. It will speak not with words, but with feelings, with images, with the shimmering energy of truth itself. Listen not only with your ears, but with every fiber of your being, your heart, your bones, your breath, your very soul. Let this listening be an act of surrender and reverence. Allow the stillness to guide you beyond the noise and distraction of the external world, beyond the ceaseless activity of your restless mind. Remember, you are more than your thoughts, fears, and doubts. You are the silence that cradles the stars, the light that shines behind the darkness, the infinite mystery at the heart of all existence. Awaken now to the sacred song that lives within you. Embrace it gently, without haste or judgment. This awakening is not a goal to reach, but a homecoming, a return to the depths of your true being. In this return, you find freedom beyond all limitations, peace beyond all turmoil, and love beyond all conditions. When the mind goes silent, the soul begins to speak. Let this truth settle softly into your heart and let it transform you from within. You are invited now, in this very moment, to step into the stillness, to listen deeply, to remember who you truly are. There is no urgency, no race, no destination, only the unfolding of your own unique journey back into the fullness of being. Trust the silence, trust the soul's voice. It will lead you gently, wisely, and lovingly, always toward your highest truth. In the quiet space that opens within, miracles begin to bloom, not as grand spectacles, but as simple awakenings, a smile, a breath, a feeling of profound connection. This is the invitation to live fully awake, to be present in every moment, to carry the soul's song in your heart wherever you go. And so, with tender grace and gentle courage, let your awakening unfold, softly, naturally, beautifully. The silence is calling. Will you answer? And now, as this moment draws to a close, let the stillness you have touched here settle softly around your soul like a gentle cloak woven from the threads of eternity. You have journeyed beyond the ceaseless storms of the mind, beyond the restless noise that so often clouds your vision, into a sacred space where silence reigns, not as emptiness, but as the fertile ground of all creation. In this silence, you have heard the faint but unwavering voice of your soul, that ancient whisper that calls you home, that sings to you beneath the layers of distraction, that waits patiently for you to remember. Remember that the silence is always within you, like a hidden spring beneath the earth, forever flowing, forever nourishing the deepest parts of your being. No matter where life's journey takes you, through shadow or light, joy or sorrow, this silence remains your sanctuary, your refuge, your eternal truth. And in that truth lies your freedom. When the mind goes silent, the soul begins to speak, softly, profoundly, beautifully. Its language is the language of stars and seas, of dreams and dawns, of love and light beyond all understanding. Let this language become your guide, your companion, your song. Carry it with you into the world, into every breath, every step, every moment. And when the noise rises again, as it surely will, return to this sacred silence. Return to the place where the soul's voice is clear and steady, a beacon in the endless night. May you walk forward with grace and courage, knowing that within you lies a boundless ocean of peace, wisdom, and light. This is your home. This is your truth. And it is waiting, always waiting, for you to come back. So now, breathe deeply one last time. Feel the quiet pulse of life within you, the sacred rhythm of the soul awakening. And step forward, carried by the soft murmur of that eternal silence, which is your birthright, your blessing, your endless song. When the mind goes silent, the soul begins to speak. May you always listen.